Hi everyone, so this is take 2. Take 1, our beautiful rescue doggy kicked off, and I think it was very noisy. However, what I'm going to do is, just need to check, what I'm going to do is strip the audio out of that. It's going to be a noisy audio and bits when I'm like, well, there's some few video clips I might do as like just memes, but when I teach quite intuitively. So there's more of you on at this time. So those of you joining me, hello. It was very funny. My daughter's not here today. So when I was filming earlier, it just didn't go well. I've got to recognize when Minnie's energy levels are high or low, and she literally played up massively. She's never played the squeaky toy since she's been here. She got every toy out. There was 2 in a toy box, and it was chaos. It was quite funny. I'll put some photos and a little video in the portal for you. I'll treat you to that later if I get the chance to finish it. So I'm re-recording now because she's all settled, and that's just the way it goes, isn't it? But because I channel information and sometimes as I speak, I get my own insights. I'm like, oh gosh, that's amazing. I'm going to strip the audio out or sort the video out. So you've got that as well, because there's some gems in there. You know, when you say something like, oh my God, that was so good. There was some gems. So I'm going to go again and I'm going to do the tapping. So projectors are beautiful. I have 2 projector children. So they're amazing, and they have this vision and they can see things like you can't BS projector children. You just can't. And they're not very good at finishing chores at all, any tasks. If they get this inspiration to make a cake, we always end up doing it. And I used to think, so I'm a generator and I've got this will to do what I finish what I can start. I thought they were lazy. I was like, what's up with them? Before I knew about human design. And this is one of the reasons I love human design, is we get to know about each other. We really get to know about each other and we can accept each other. So now I don't ask them to do things like that. And if I do, I have to invite them in a certain way to get the most out of them. And yeah, we get on a lot better, and they've got big vision. So I didn't share this earlier, but I'm going to share it now. When I was thinking about closing my studio, and I was yoga studio during the pandemic, and I was very, it's snowing now. I was very, very upset about that. My son came in and he was a young projector, and he just said he could see the bigger vision. He says, well, Mummy, you're just in a box at the studio, because I started to go online. He said, when you're online, you can reach everyone in the world. And I was like, okay. And it really was profound, because he never sat on my bed ever at that age. He was not, you know, getting a bit more independent. So they just see this bigger vision. That's my experience of living with children projectors. But they get conditioned to work like generators. And so there's a lot of deconditioning to do. So I'm trying to hold the space for them to grow as a projector, finding their own way and ease and grace in life, as opposed to slogging. Because generators, just to go back to them, they're designed to just keep going. Like, we are the Duracell bunnies of the world. Not everyone else is. And projectors are one of them. So projectors are 22% of the population. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just talk, and then I'm going to check Facebook for questions. So please ask me any questions. And they're known as the guides or the orchestrators. So projectors, I'll talk to you, you're here to show us a new way of being. You have a beautiful bigger vision. You can see everything and how things should go. And you can also see into people's soul and gifts and talents. You know how they're doing, if they're well, if they're not well. You can see their potential possibility. You can see the advice that they could do with getting and the actions they could do with taking. And what projectors are known for is a focused and penetrating aura. So what does that mean? What that means is that you can see, as I've said, into people, but not everybody's aligned. Not everybody's open for growth. So that means if you can see into somebody and see the best way for them to do things, or things that need healing, unless they've asked you, and we'll go into that with the strategy later, unless they've asked you, it's not going to go down well for them or you. And also, some people just don't want to be seen. It's too painful to be seen. And so they'll naturally be, they'll kind of naturally go away because they don't want to be seen. That's not on you. because you've got a real gift. Can you imagine if people came to you because of this gift? Well, they will come to you because of this gift. That's magical. So don't disown it and don't dumb it down. Accept it. They're not ready. There's nothing wrong with you. They're not ready for this information or wisdom or advice. So you can really recognize people's gifts and talents. What a skill, because quite often people can't see it themselves, and projectors a lot of the projectors I've coached, they can't see their own skills and talents. And so it's work with really getting through the mindset beliefs to own that projectiness, that the way that I'm going to talk about you is just so beautiful. So quite often projectors can focus more on the others than on the self. That's like your role. You're here to guide us and raise the collective consciousness, which we all are in our individual way. But you're here to bring a new way, a new paradigm into being. How we live is so outdated. This masculine hustle. I love structure. I love go action if it's the right thing, if it's aligned to my strategy. But there's too much. People are too busy, too much to buy, too much things to do, just too much, she says, surrounded by plants. So you're here to show us another way. You're here to slow us down. One thing about the mechanics of being a projector is you don't have that defined sacral that mangens and generators have. So that means you don't have this consistent, so I'm not saying you don't have energy, it means you don't have that consistent access to energy that generators literally have and have to burn off. So what that means is you need some rest sometimes in the day, and sometimes you just need to wind down. Projectors need to work in cycles. You're designed to work really, really efficiently and then rest. So what that means is if you keep pushing through it, you're going to burn out really easily or be your outer self, out of alignment self, which is bitterness. I'll go into that in a moment. So it's really important that you honor when you're getting tired and you rest and know that you can come back to it. But isn't this culture tailored for being busy and not honoring the rest? So teachers how to rest, teachers, generators, like literally that it's okay to rest. And hopefully there'll be a new paradigm where it isn't how busy are you, it's how rested, how vital, how much in your joy and flow are you. Can you imagine a world like that? My sacral likes that. You're here for that. You also work really efficiently, so you're not here to work long hours. So what that can look like, things that you don't enjoy doing, 2 hours max of that a day, and then do the rest of the things that light you up, that you find fascinating. So you're here to follow what you're fascinated by. So personality characteristics, very, very insightful and intuitive guides, have this unique perspective and view of the bigger picture of life. And you see things that others miss. So I mentioned it in the other video. In corporate, you'd be coming in higher level and just seeing what's going off, what needs changing, what's working, and you'll be able to get a more cohesive picture of what's going on. And you know how to maximize energy and be more efficient. Awesome. Sometimes we just do it, the outer self alignment for gens and mangens was this busyness, this unproductive busyness, busy, got to keep going. Imagine if generators rested and came up more powered. So as I'm talking, you're really here to help with the sacral pause for the rest of the population. So challenges. Oh, no, I'll go through what I'll do is I'll go through the strategy first, your strategy. So it's wait for the invitation. Now, this is so confusing for projectors, so I really hope I demystify this for you today. So I really advise you watching all of they'll be here forever in your email and in this group. I'm going to keep them here. But what I do is I'd really learn and lean into the generator and mangen videos as well. A, so you understand other people, and B, so you understand what you are not. There's great medicine in understanding what you are not. And yeah, I think it's really going to be a useful embodied experience for you to do that. So wait for the invitation, like the generator response, doesn't mean you don't do anything. Wait for the invitation means that you've got this beautiful wisdom to be shared in the world, and it's not for everybody. Not everybody's ready to hear your stories or hear the lessons or change or grow. Not everybody in their lifetime in this incarnation is ready to grow. So it can come across as unsolicited, can I say that, advice. So what is an invitation? People in your social media, in your friendship group, they're invited. But in your friendship group, I'd only share advice if they've asked you for something, or it could be you've got a deep intuitive hit, like you can see the suffering. And if you see that they're suffering, I'd ask them, I've just got an intuitive hit. Is it okay if I share it with you? Or would you like some guidance on that? Ask them first and then give the advice. You need that invitation. Or it could be a glance from somebody, or it could be somebody just saying, I love it when you teach that to me. Could you help me with? It could be a formal invitation. It could be just a deep knowing that you need to do this thing. What this means is that you don't scattergun your energy out to everybody or your wisdom, because it doesn't feel good, because they're not going to feel good, because they're going to ignore it and think, who does she think she is, or he thinks she is? And you're not going to feel good, because it is a waste of all that energy on things that aren't going to change when you haven't got an uncontained amount of energy that day. So use your energy efficiently on the things that are going to drive you forward, or the things that are going to drive the collective consciousness forward. So when people have invited themselves into your world, or invited a conversation with you, it's like opening up an energy stream, two-way energy stream. You give it to the people who like it, and they'll be grateful. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. And they'll feed back to you, because projectors need to wait for the invitation and get recognition. And this isn't an ego thing. This is so you use your energy wisely in the world. It's so important. I love it because it's boundaries. You're not here to help everybody. And so you need to wait for the invitation and be recognized. What that doesn't mean is don't do anything. So in that time, what you're doing is following what's fascinating, maybe creating programs, concepts, podcast episodes. Maybe you're sharing a lot on social media. You're being visible because you're like a lighthouse. You need to be seen. So if you've got a local business, that'll be in your local community. If you've got a global online business, that will have to be online. But are you there? Are you visible? Are you stepping into your queen leadership energy? Or are you playing it small because of all the times when you've had a bigger vision, or shared it with people, or shared this beautiful wisdom and knowledge that you can see, or seen someone's soul and they've backed off, or they've told you, no, that's wrong, and you've gone into hiding? I'd like to really have a think about that. Maybe stop the video if you're watching this future and have a ponder. So you need to shine. You need to be the lighthouse. And yeah, are you? So again, like gens and man-gens, which is why I want you to watch them as well, the society constantly wants us to initiate and force things and make things happen. Not going to happen. So just to recap, waiting for the invitation does not mean waiting. You're doing your thing. You're doing your thing, you're preparing everything, you're there. But people invite themselves into your world. And it's that magical way of working. So when you're waiting, you focus on nourishing yourself, mind, body, soul. I always like to, even in the way to the respond or sacral plateau, I really work on my energy, healing the shadows, stepping with the shadows. And so you're stepping into that future version of yourself, you're getting ready to. So an invitation, just to recap, is somebody calling for you to share your gifts and energy with them. And that comes in so many ways. It could be an intuitive hit that you think of somebody 4 times. That's their soul going, help, help. And you'll say, I've been thinking of you. How are you? And they'll be like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad you asked me. It's just magic when it happens. So out of self alignment is bitterness. So every human design type has an out of self, not self theme. And this is where you veered off, where you've veered off from your path, or you've veered off from the way that your energy is supposed to move. You've veered away from your true self. So bitterness are things like feeling drained and being like, oh, I'm so tired. It could be looking at people and thinking, well, it's okay for them. They started early. It's okay for them. They've got this. It's okay for them. They've got the support. It's okay for them. They're all these things. And really, you need to step into your leadership and own your own light. It can also come when you're hustling, when you're trying to act like a generator and a man gen, because let's face it, the whole of society is set up for us, for gens, man gens, and it's not for you. It can also be like having a bad taste in your mouth because of resentment towards others. So if you're giving this energy out and it's being ignored, or you're getting feedback back that isn't very nice, you're going to feel resentful. It's not going to feel very nice at all. So it's really powerful to really look at that and see that as a signpost. Oh, I've gone again. So whenever I see frustrations generate, I'm like, oh, where have I gone? Where have I drifted off? And let me get back into alignment. And when you feel good, it's success. So that doesn't mean material wealth or abundance or anything like that. It's the small things in life. Just things like telling a friend something. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad you told me. Thank you so much. That's changed things. Or yeah, just small little success of getting through the day, not feeling drained, just doing things that you love. So it's super important that projectors surrender to the flow of life and energy. They just let go and move away from any resistance that they're feeling in terms of bitterness. Look at it. Why am I feeling this? Am I being seen? What is going off? And really look at that. So I feel like I don't know what I said because I already recorded this once, but the health and sleep recommendations for projectors are to start to wind down about an hour before bed, because this is going to help you really get into that restful state. So ideally, no phones, no laptops, no computers, no iPads, a nice book, maybe a bath, whatever makes you feel good. And possibly time away from others to discharge other people's energy and get into your own lane again. Yeah, I did it. She's still asleep. So Roman chamomile. So as I did sit in peace with Minnie this morning, I got the download to use Roman chamomile. That really surprised me. I was like, okay. And so I looked in a few books, looked at some text notes of some of my studies, and I was like, oh, okay, I know why. It's one I wouldn't have put. So aroma point therapy is using essential oils on acupoints for 1 to 3 minutes with a feather-light touch. So Roman chamomile on CV8, that's your tummy button. You don't put it in your tummy button, you just hover it over. And also, as I was sitting with it, it might feel nice to put on the throat or just gently massage on the throat. CV17, which is in between the nipples and up about an inch. And to smell it. So why Roman chamomile? Because it's very calming. It's going to relieve mental tension. And mental tension can really help starters to do hustle, initiate. You're not here to initiate. So again, really look at the generator type video as well. It's very nurturing. So quite often projectors can feel hurt because they can feel rejected. And so it's that nurturing mother hug energy. It's also very balancing for the masculine side of energy. So this masculine hustle, I'll give you praise when you achieve something. It's really balancing for that. And it's an oil that helps make everything feel okay and peaceful and nourished. And that's what you need, because you need to nourish yourself inside to recognize yourself inside to shine out into the world. It also activates the light within. So it will help you move towards your highest frequency. And that's what you need. That's the medicine that you need. And it's here. This is what the Roman chamomile oil is. It's here to help the new paradigm, to help us bring the new paradigm in and regulate your nervous system. So projectors in this world of hustle, go, 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 your nervous system's overloaded. So you might be thinking, I don't need to rest, like I go all the time. You might be working on adrenal, you might be in adrenal fatigue, you might be working off the stress hormones. So it's really important you decondition your mind from society, and you decondition your body from this way of working that isn't helpful anymore. And yeah, it's going to help your message be heard. So I made it. She's still asleep like a little angel. So we're going to do the tapping now. Again, I'll strip this out so you've got this to go to anytime. And I would really recommend you keep coming back to these practices. It's going to really shift. You know, if you feel a bit stuck or you think you're slipping back into feeling bitter, it's really, really powerful. So take a deep breath, sit tall, soften the shoulders. Good. So just tapping the side of the hand. And repeat after me, call and response. Even though I'm scared to listen, acknowledge and follow my inner wisdom, I completely and deeply love and accept myself. Even though I try and keep up and push my natural energy reserves, I completely and deeply love and accept myself. Even though I don't feel heard, I completely and deeply love and accept myself. So top of the head, I don't feel heard. I know I can help people, but I feel their resistance to my help. I get so tired in the day and burnt out and worried that I can't keep up with everybody else. Yeah. I don't accept my unique way of working energetically in the world. I get in my own way. I don't respect my energy or my boundaries or my gifts. I just want to help everybody. I don't understand why they don't want my help when I know it will help. But I'm ready to release that I'm not here for everybody. I trust that I'm here to bring the new way of being into the world and to move into more of a flow state. I'm going to trust, surrender, and let go. Let go of control. Let go of being small. Find my voice. Find my inner light and start to shine out into the world. So just tap the collarbone, tap the armpit, and then just slow the breath and sit with that. And just see how that feels. So I'm just going to tap. I'm just going to have a look in the Facebook group and just see if there are any comments or questions. If you have, I think I can tap in show chat. Hi chat. Still getting to know StreamYard. If you have any questions, please in fact, there was a question from earlier, right? There's no questions from now because I shouldn't be on here. So there was a question earlier actually from Shauna. So she said she's a projector with a G center authority. What does that mean? So authority, your inner authority or outer authority is your best way of making decisions. And there's quite a few categories and they all have different meanings. So what that means for you is that it's very important the way you speak. The way the words come out is quite intricate actually. So how you speak is how you make your decisions. It's not the place to go into it because I'm keeping it high level, but that's what that's what authority is, and that's what the projector G center authority is. And yeah, if you ever want any help with that, let me know. You can have a reading and we can spend some time on that because it's really important to get to understand that. When I understood how I make decisions, my emotional authority, everything changed. It was really, really powerful. So I'll just check one last time. see if there's any questions. She's been a little angel. And I'm going to spend the afternoon editing now and doing some outtakes so you can see the fun that you missed with the first video. Yeah, we're all good. All right, sending lots of love. So if you have anything that you want to ask away, and I can come on tomorrow and answer it. All right, take care. Bye.